Oh my gosh, Christos. There we go. All right, 55.51 here, ES green. Looking across the markets, they're about 50-50 green and red. XLC is down 1.6. But the name of the game here is just riding down the long puts here. The best thing that can happen to me is right now is that the short puts close out of the money while the long puts just kind of keep on going closer and closer to intrinsic over the next month or so. Obviously, we have FOMC next week. Should be pretty spicy. We've got the Dow coming back up just a little bit. We have Apple going up. VIX is 1542. We've got the bonds are still churning and burning in the 92 range. Not a lot going on there. Yields are still just kind of doing their thing back down into the 4.4 as the 2-year yield continues to plummet from 5% straight onslaught down to 4.4 as of 2 months ago. So, yeah. But if you look, the main theme today is on the daily chart. If you haven't already looked at the daily chart, then you are wrong. Everyone in here should have already looked at the daily chart at some point today. There is the daily on ES. You see the white line is where we were looking for a retest. We rejected and fell back off. And then now that blue box is the support from the consolidation in June from 55.60 down to 55.10. And that's the main area for us to look for. If they clear out the weekly low, which is 55.41, 55.40, then I'll have a quick trip down to 55.05. That's where I'll be looking for. A little bit of red coming off again right here. Alrighty. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. A little bit more red. 55.45 coming off. SPX is currently 5,500 at the moment. All right. Coming on down right here, we've got a little bit more red dropping back over. July 24th contracts right now are about 22% IV. So excellent. Excellent. Dropping back over here. We had a little bit of minor data this morning. And now they're still dropping back over at the moment. Big time red. 55.41 so far. Do I expect news catalysts to have much of an effect after such a move pre-market? Not necessarily, no. Again, this was all driven by downside. If you saw yesterday, I was looking for Tesla to go red simply because the pattern. Tesla dumped back over. The markets were printing all selling climax areas. ES came back over. That's why I elected to hold my long puts. And everything's dumping back over simply because of price action. And here we go, down we go even more. So, do I expect a big move out of the catalysts? Not necessarily. I think the main catalyst is going to be Wednesday, which is FOMC. We do have some PCE on Friday, but that's about it. Everything else, this is all price action driven. We're cyclical right now to the downside. 55.25 liquidities on deck. We've got major red on Apple, major red on Microsoft and Nvidia. Let me go take a look at the options data here. I've been focusing on some positioning for the moment. We have Amazon as major put buying. However, that stuff is still very light. Still very light. That can't be right. I just hit update, and they've got Google with a phenomenal amount of put buying, if that's actually accurate. Obviously, they're down 5%. Tesla's down 10%. Trump's down. I need to remove that one. I'm out of that play. Delete. Sweet. Nvidia is down 3%. Meta is down 3%. So the market wide is getting destroyed at the moment and just still dropping. VIX is up, yeah. Thoughts on CL today? Let me take a look. CL held macro levels. It's still almost too perfectly. Coming on down 77.50. We've got, they bounced off of 76.44, which I was looking for mid 75s for a bounce. It got to 76.42 before bouncing there. Overall, it's still in a very strong downtrend. The daily chart has a top wick so far. So really, we'll just keep an eye on the daily chart to see where the thing is going to flow at the moment. XLE is one of the few green X sectors today as well. But ES continues to pummel, 55.40. What's up, Clown Trader? How you doing? Refresh again. We have liquidity on 55.25 with a negative VIX. Overall, we're just in a very, very strong downtrend. ES is now down 60 points. NASDAQ is down nearly 400 points. Nvidia and Tesla is picking up put buying. Google by far is the leader in put buying today. Is this too much too fast? It's a phenomenal amount of selling, definitely. And this does hit too much too fast, and I would probably expect some sort of buy up at some point today. Not a V recovery, but definitely some buying after a phenomenal amount of red. It's been straight red since the gap down. So definitely. Canadian wildfires giving a boost to oil prices. Yeah, apparently there's, I guess, a large cloud plume coming down into our neck of the woods again. $55.41. Precious metals are once again back up into resistance. Looks like gold is about to break out 24.20, and I'll put a target of 24.33 if gold breaks this level, which looks like it will. Dow is coming back up. Russell is bouncing aggressively once again off macro as well. Macro is all a freaking round. And I'll look for them to recapture 2270 if that rotation continues. Nvidia is still getting pummeled, so NASDAQ, I would still look for downside here. ES is still looking for downside here. I've got one active play today in addition to my swing positions. I've already closed out my prop. I took that trade earlier this morning, so right now it's all purely IBKR today. And I've got one active play going. 55.38 here, still coming off. Overall, 55.25 is liquidity to the downside. And again, we've already taken out weekly low. We've already taken out, we're coming up or approaching monthly low, I believe. Yeah, which is got to come on down to 55.03. It's still 30 points down, so that's a healthy move. But it's looking more and more likely dropping all the way back down into the 55.03, and that'll be the main target. I need to turn this thing back on. Booyah. We do have Bookmap today. At 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, which is in 50 minutes. So be ready for that. We'll be taking the switch out there. 55.38 dropping again. Negative 6,800. Watch the CVD. The CVD opened up barely green, has dumped all the way over, and is now at the negative 6,700 right here. If we give out this area again, I'd look for another retracement down into the 55.25. Overall, GEX this morning, bam. Options data is spread throughout the order book. 54.70. It's the first time in a while we have seen a phenomenal amount of GEX lower and below 5,500, and now we have a phenomenal amount at 54.70. But then now we do have some all the way up to 55.45 as well, which is about 40 points higher, so 50 points higher now. But we also have it 54.70. All right. Tesla coming back off. Give me a give me a quick moment here. I gotta. Ooh, why did I delete? Where did my volume profile go? I must accidentally deleted that. 1 second. There we go. Hate when I do that. All right, 55.40, 55.39, still hanging out the bottom of the range. Where'd it go? There we go. All right, sweet. I'm back. ES is 55.39, still hanging out bottom of the range. Right here. What a day. This is where you make the money. Yep, absolutely. Patience, even environment. You're looking for a play. You don't YOLO volatility because volatility will burn you. Set those stops. Yep, 100%. Currently, positions are the main trade in the tier 2 channel. That's the one that's making me a bunch of money right now, as I've been holding that position for a while. But the new position I added today was a 0 DTE put. It's nicely green, but it's at 54.90. But the meat and potatoes right now is holding the long put. That's the one that's making a bunch of money. What is the tool you use for tracking put and call buying? I use that in TradyTix. It is real time, yes. Now you can use the TradyTix bot, the query bot in the TradyTix bot channel. Just you put in whatever command you like, whatever data you want to see, and use that. That is free to you all. Part of the benefits of being a OM member. Worth the price of admission alone. $55.39. All right, we have data here. We have 9:45 at S&P Global, which is in less than a minute. And then at 10 o'clock, we have new home sales, which should drop again. Crude oil inventories again at 10:30. So if you're a CL trader, you could track 10:30. Then after that, we have minor data at 12 o'clock, which is the Atlanta Fed GDP. We have the 5-year bond auction at 1,300, which should be pretty decent. And then another Fed speech later this afternoon, which is at 16:05. Fed Logan. Liquidity is stripped from the market just now on the book, expecting this little data point coming out. We have twice top wick here on the past 5 minute on ES, and looking for 55.25. NASDAQ has liquidity down to 19,500, overall down to 19,425 with a negative CVD. ES has a negative 4,500 CVD with a first iceberg of the day filled 200 right there. Coming off. I know I remember twice the quality and better than TV for your entertainment. Jabroni purposes. Love it. Love it. Here for the bad jokes. Refined dad jokes is what I prefer. Apple and Nvidia are both top wicking pretty strong downtrends. I'm seeing RTY and the Dow still uptrending, so the rotation trade is still strong. Still strong. TLT is coming off 92.54, and I'm just waiting for the too much too fast bounce, if that's coming, which it probably will. It probably will. I'm used to trading options, trying to figure out a bit more recently about having missing fills by a few points, and a lot more since I have. Planning to start front running by a few points to get fills. This is not NASDAQ just yet. I want to make sure this doesn't send up a red flag to you. I'm used to trading options, trying out futures for a bit more recently, missing fills by a few points, a lot more since I have. Planning to start front running. I don't mind front running. I don't do it too much, as long as you're the odds of me front running a position increase as you get near a macro level, a big support or a big resistance. If I'm just scalping, or if I'm just getting taking a quick trade, I'm probably not going to front run too much. I'm going to wait for confirmation, and almost to a fault, waiting for confirmation on my part of things. But like I said, the bigger the confidence area, the more I'm going to front run. I'd actually like to do more front running myself. The benefit of futures, however, is, ooh, look at this big red. The benefit of futures, in my opinion, is the fact that you can be very accurate with your entries and exits, unlike options. Options are a little bit of a wag. Futures, if you don't want to enter until like 55.20.75, then you don't have to wait. Then you can set exactly 55, 25, 75. That's it. Whereas futures is kind of a wag. That's the benefit, in my opinion, is the accuracy. So exploit that attribute to your advantage. When did I enter the 0 DTE? Right near the morning open. However, the bigger question for me is the long-dated put. That's the one that's the big dog today. Some of the 0 DTs are just small potatoes. Highly refined, like uranium-235. Yellow cake. Do not drop that stuff in here. Yellow cake or uranium. Akid. 55.25 liquid at the moment. Still facing downside. Still facing top wicks across the board on ES. 19.550. SPX GEX currently 54.70. With GEX exposure rolled up to 55.35 as well. Market net flow is quite bearish at the moment, as you should expect at the moment. Google is leading the pack with puts, followed by Tesla, followed by Nvidia, followed by Apple. Looks like Apple wants them bottom jeans, baby. I front run levels at big levels quite a bit. Always taking current price action and volume into consideration, but it works very well. And when it doesn't, you know you're real wrong and flip the position. There you go. On shorts, it's open. Nice, Dan. Freaking amazing. Alrighty then. What do we got going on here? One more push down should do nicely. If ES were to breach this level, what would I expect? Probably S3 would be a gimme if we take out this level right here. S3. I need to make a decision on one of my short puts, though, because I don't want that to go too far down from here. Nice, Tristan. Well done. $10,000 payout from Apex. Nice. Congratulations, man. Fantastic. Need to join the Discord again? Come on, baby. Come join. I'd love to have you back. Treat that $10,000 as if it were gold, because it is. Put it in your personal account and grow it, baby. Now make it turn into 100,000 and get away from props. I opened 100 547 puts on SPY for a 600% gain. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's up, Elaine? Good morning. Morning Invest in Muscle, 007 Trader. When does your long put expire? In September. September expiration. Here we go. Now we're plummeting, baby. 55.33 and dropping. 55.25. That's a large red engulfing candle to the downside. That is extraordinary. Oh, man. I tell you what, man. The two major bear cycles we've had this year has made my year. I absolutely killed it in April when we had this downside, and then again this week and last week. Made my year. It's fantastic. Fantastic. 55.25. I tell you what. Good job, Mr. Bear. It just happens so quick. And I've had the fortunate situation of nailing the top both times, which also helps. But it happens so fast that, man, the premium's just juice. Just juice. VIX is spiking 16. I'm going to keep a short leash on the 0DT puts I've got. It's not moving as precipitously as I would have hoped. But we're doing good. We're doing good. Hey, what's up, Toolman? Long time no see. Good morning. Hope things are doing well down there in your neck of the woods. What helps me take action with front running in other strategies that I utilize, I apply a 1 to 10 confidence with all strategies I utilize. 10 would be full position, 1's a min. Apply that to your strategy and define the strategy you're using for open position. I love that idea. It's very quantifiable. 55.31 blasting. Watch for 55.25 liquid right here. On down. That puts me over 50% on the 0 DTE right there. One more push down and I'll start rolling down stops. Yeah, that's that major level. Remember it bounced off of it a couple of times last week? Gabagoo. If it takes that area out, you're going to have a waterfall. So watch out on NVIDIA. It may be their time. The rotation trade is breaking down at the moment. A lot of red here on the Dow and the Russell. Just a heads up, this is Pastor from the Discord. Till I can come back, I'll be hanging out. Beautiful. Nice, Pastor. Thanks for coming back, buddy. I look forward to having you back. All right, here comes the red. 55.35 liquidity, 25, I'm sorry. CVD is negative 8,200, still dropping. We have a large bounce on NVIDIA, and because of that, I'm going to go ahead and start trimming in some profits here and keeping my stop tight. Like I said, I'm leaving on the long-dated put, which is nearly at 100% profit at the moment. And I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of management here. You know, just chillax. I'm going to lock in some profit. And my body is ravenously hungry. I don't know why. Again, 2 days in a row. Keep my stops tight. I just got hungry because you said that. Eat a breakfast steak. I think I'm going to do a little bit of protein and some steel cut oats. Get some carbs in me. Get some protein. I did some good chest day. I might have to take, you know, about 1,600 milligrams of ibuprofen because of my shoulder. But I'm all set. VIX is 1609 and climbing. We've got a 9.4% increase on VIX. Biscuits and gravy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My life goal is to mimic or create the exact recipe of the biscuits and gravy from the Little Diner in Vail. They made the best biscuit and gravy I've ever had. And I need it. I need it. 2,600 iceberg just filled. 2,600 iceberg. Now I would construe that as a buy-side iceberg. Is construed the right word there? I don't even know. I'm pulling words out of my butt here at the moment here. 55.27. So I am definitely going to be very cautious on bottom wicks here after that major iceberg, and I'm going to start really rolling my stops down tight here. So be careful. 55.26. I'm not getting out of my put yet, but I'm going to be careful on bottom wicks. I'm riding this baby into the core of the earth, and we be drilling. We be drilling. Nice. Here we go. Excellent. You know what's sad, man? I took a short on NASDAQ way up last night at 8 p.m. And if I would have held that baby, I would have been paid. That would have been over 300 points, but I freaking closed it for a measly profit because I didn't want to hold it while I slept. You know why I did that? You want to know why I did that? Because I went too big on position sizing. If I would have done my normal overnight position, which is like 3 or 4 micros, I would have held it the entire time. But I did minis instead because like I'm a jabroni, and I took the profit off because I didn't want to take the heat. So I need to get out of the kitchen if I can't stand the heat. Nice, Sarah. Beautiful. All right, coming back off here. Like I said, I'm rolling down my positioning, my stops here for these puts. Coming back over. And I'm going to go ahead and trim off about 75% of my contracts right there. I think that's pretty healthy. And this is reaching too much too fast. And following my own rule, I think I need to go ahead and trim some. So I'm going to go ahead and take some off right there. I think overall, though, if people are asking me, or if not, it's going to come. Should I take a short? Is it too late to short? I think the risk reward of a short is starting to diminish, and that's the key there. I don't know if we're going to keep on going down or not, but the risk reward is starting to diminish. I would probably say we're about to find some structure here in the next 14 points on ES, if not already. So just be careful doing any kind of shorts right here. It's kind of like one of those late fall days where it's, it's cool enough where you could wear some pants, but it's still warm enough where you could wear shorts. You don't really know. You're kind of gambling. You just got to be careful. The time for shorts is in August, not late October. I don't know. I don't even know where I come up with this crap. Pants are optional. Got it. I don't even know where I come up with this stuff. $55.25. Rolling down the stops. I already took off a good portion. Right here, I closed out about 75% of my 0 DTE puts. I'm still holding every one of my long puts, my September puts. So there you go. On down. Them fall days when you go out in the morning in a hoodie and pants because it's 40 outside and by noon it's an 80. Oh yeah. You're not sure if it's fall or if you've got malaria. Another large iceberg coming on the tape here, about 1,100 worth. So collectively, we've got about 3,500 icebergs right here. I think we are about to get some sort of a bottom wick. If I was a gambling man, I would say we're probably going to have a bottom wick somewhere in this area. Maybe the next 5 to 10 points. The big question, do we finally get the eluded 2% red day? It's been a hot minute since we've had it. What, 3 years, 2 years since we've had a 2% red day on ES, which is extraordinary to even think. 3% day is even worse. We're at 2% already for NASDAQ. We've already had a 2% day on NASDAQ recently to close 2%. But ES, nope. And today is the day to do it, where you gap down at the settlement open and still continue down. Today is the type of day where it's going to do it. In fact, today's the type of day where we get a 4% day, where it just keeps on selling. Don't tempt us. All I can remember about it is that June 2022 day where we had back-to-back like 3 or 4% negative days, and it just kept on selling for 48 hours straight. That was a great time. Great time. What do I mean by settlement open? Last or when the at what 5 o'clock at 5 o'clock Central, 6 p.m. I should say 1700 Central, 1800 Eastern time. The market opens. The futures market opens because they're closed for 1 hour a day for settlement. It's for the brokerages and the exchanges to settle options to settle contracts, and it closes at 1600 and opens up at 1700. It's closed for 1 hour at Central time. Add an hour for Eastern. So when I say settlement open, I mean when they open back up at nighttime for the new market, for the new day, that's settlement open. And we gap down. You saw right there, we gap down from, what, 56.05 down to about 55.80, which was about 25 points. ES is still dropping here, 55.23. We are coming into a lot of icebergs. CVD continues to drop, 12 Dow on down. New low of the day already for ES. I've closed out 75% of my contracts, and I'm holding a couple of remainders. Like I said, I'm putting a short leash on those and seeing if we can come on down here. VIX is still 1630. I haven't even looked at the options data here in about 10 minutes, but let me go take a look. Refresh. Market net flow is quite bearish. SPX GEX is 54.50, rolling on down from 70. Google put flow, Tesla, Nvidia put flow. Ooh, that's odd. I can't say I've ever seen that before. Huh. Never seen that before. The Google Class C is showing massive call buying. The Google Class Alphas are showing massive put buying. That's weird. It doesn't even make any sense. Anyway. What is that? Rock with Jesus, preach to a disciple for... Oh, very cool. Oh, that's awesome, man. I would love to go there. Very cool. I probably missed it, but what gave you the confidence in taking the long put? We had weakening pattern. Here, I'll show you this. Go to the daily chart. Un momento, por favor. Go to the daily chart and look on ES, and then look for this pattern right there. And then you see the selling climax that occurred. It is where I took my put. So there were a couple of things going on there. We had that exact weakening pattern. Like you could have copied and pasted onto the daily chart on ES. You had VIX beginning to do the green for green moves, where we had days where VIX was green, the S&P were green, which shows that the VIX was probably bottomed out and it was ready to start putting on some positions, start to raise the volatility a little bit, and juice the premiums. So, not to mention, I knew we were coming up on seasonality. You know, end of July, August usually kicks off a lot of selling. You start getting into deeper into August, you get into a lot more selling. So I elected to go ahead and take a put, and it just so happened to be at a perfect time. But all that was based on the VPA patterns that we talk about. 55.23 on ES, we have a very small bottom wick. But overall, a 30-point range on ES. The overall support is in the lower 5500s, like approximately 5510. You're welcome, Daniel. Here we go. Shrek candle mega green. I don't expect that. I expect some green, but not Shrek mega green. Am I showing the weakening pattern? I am. I'm showing it on the Discord right now. The Discord. What time is it? Just had the 10 o'clock move. We have oil news in 25. Yep. What's a good bounce level on ES to enter shorts? Talk about like a short to high move. If we bounce, I would probably look for 55.43, 55.42, somewhere in there for a possible rejection on any kind of bounce. All I'm doing right now is kicking back, sipping on the remainder of my coffee, and just managing my remaining positions. Whatever, and just kind of hang out here. In my opinion, this is the best way for me to trade. I enjoy putting on swing positions and just kind of like throwing in 1Z, 2Z, 0 DTEs, and be done with it. I'd prefer this style of trading over trying to slam massive wins on zeros any day of the week, just low stress. So this is kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pumping the brakes a little bit. I'll manage the zero I have now and just watch what goes on. Tomorrow's build is pushed till Friday because of rain. Kind of saw that coming. Now I have to call all the inspectors. Watch for CL inventories. I just broke under that major level again. Beautiful. Tons of iceberg on NAS. Yeah, we got some right here at 904 now, or 504, 505. Sorry for anyone tomorrow. When I got into calls yesterday, it caused a dump. Well, I wouldn't write that thing off yet. It's still, you remember the TRUP play? That one had to take a long time. It took weeks for that one to come to fruition and then actually bounce and go higher. So I'm not writing off Mari yet. Once I get a good qualified hammer candle, maybe on the weekly, I'll take an entry and see if we can get that thing to go up. But you're responsible. Love it. Man, straight selling so far at the open. Not a single green candle on the ES. We're about to put a new low of the day in and drop this thing like it's hot. We are approaching 100% on the swing play, which is fantastic for a premium of that size. And we've got NASDAQ dropping back down 19,500. Alrighty then. What do y'all think? 55.20. Still no signs of bottom wicking yet. Still no signs to long. Dow dumped all the way back over. Nvidia is actually almost back up to high of the day. They've completely recovered. VIX is still going higher, 1941. If I were you, what I would do is I would set some straddle price alerts on the VIX to see when the VIX starts to move one way or the other. If they start to liquidate that VIX, y'all know the deal. If you would watch that VIX video, which apparently nobody is, y'all know what I mean. I tell you what, the algorithms are relentless. You stop posting for a couple months, YouTube does not push your videos anymore. I got to get back on it. I can run the analysis on the videos I post on YouTube, and all the older videos you could see as the growth on them goes. You can see where it's coming from. And all my videos in 2022 and 2023 were suggested, like they came from suggested by YouTube. These all videos, because I haven't posted in so long, it's purely because people are searching for it. It's not suggested. So you have to keep on posting in order to get that thing kicked up again. So I got to get on my game. But it's a lot to do a video, man. All right, red candles here, 55.20, new low of the day. Dropping back over. They want to grind. It's like if you take a week off social media and all of a sudden you get rewards for logging in 3 days in a row. Yeah. I think NVIDIA, Google pivot downside again. We in for some real movement. Well, I think Tesla's got some pain ahead of them, but they are nearing their pivot level of about 208. ES is still coming down. Another iceberg NASDAQ here, about to fill. We have ES coming down to 55.17, still holding short. No signs of buy-ups yet. Still going. 55.18. VIX is still going up, 16.42. This is where do we find the VIX video? That's on my suggested playlist for YouTube. I'll get it for you. All right, NVIDIA's coming back off. ES is 55.15, coming back over again. New low of the day for ES. NASDAQ is 19,477 and straight selling, coming down. $55.16. One thing I see online is I didn't mention that video was Vixpiration. What exactly is that? Yeah, I did not talk about Vixpiration. You're right. Vixpiration is the monthly expirations for the VIX contracts. It's usually the second week of the month, mid-month. It depends on like if we have like a weird one of those months where you have 5 weeks. Still coming down ES. Today is the day where you do not want to catch a falling knife. Wait for the signs. Wait for the signs. Especially if you're trading NASDAQ. NASDAQ is getting creamed right now. Anyone like creamed corn? It's one of those things like you never hear anyone eat. Unless it's in like a casserole or something. Delicious. There you go. Still holding short. Still holding short. I used to love cream corn as a kid, and I grew up in Virginia. Haven't had it since. I think I was the same way. Like I remember having it as a kid, like straight out of the can, but not now. Y'all are weird. 55.16 still dropping all the way down. We are now down. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Time to wake up. 55.15. We have liquidity coming on 55.30. Did I give you all the cold sweats there for a second? Do I think Tesla will get to 180? I think 208 is first. I don't know if he'll get down to 180. It's got to get to 2. It's got to get to and through 208 first. 55.14, still going low. It's gonna rain. Yep. Imagine Q put since yesterday overnight. Yeah. 55.15. They are building a little bit of liquidity back up. They still have the 55.03, which would be our settings, our support. I just read your thing at the same time. It said settings. It's support. Still no signs of buying yet. All 30-minute, 60-minute, 15-minute are engulfing right now. So don't go buying a falling knife or catching a fallen knife yet. Still hold short. What you know about that? Blue of the day, 55.14, still dropping. Don't catch a falling knife. The time to long will come, but not yet. Not yet. Apple is starting to base. VIX is still going up. 54.75 is now the main GEX, which is currently where we are. SPY has now flipped into put selling. And that makes sense as we're nearing main support at 55.10. So, again, minimized R&R for shorts, but yeah. Green candle. VIX top wicking. Maybe this is it. Harris campaign is going to be considering Buttigieg for VP. Interesting. Is that how you say his name? Beetlejuice? I can never unhear it now. $55.17. My friends from high school all went into the military. When they got out, their humor stuck in the military mode. We joke about that stuff. It makes our wives cringe. Oh, yeah. Especially the Marines get wild. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We got some dark sense of humor. I have to tone down my jokes with y'all. The things that we see and do. Boo, not cool. Disqualified. Nvidia is coming off red candles. Mad Monday, though I'm uncensored. Off, yeah, definitely. Do you watch Rick and Morty? I do watch Rick. I used to. I haven't watched after the first 3 seasons though, first 4 seasons, but It was, yeah. 55.15. I gotta admit, I'd never even heard of or knew Rick and Morty, but somebody at work actually was like, "Hey, have you seen Rick and Morty?" And I was like, "No, I don't watch cartoons, bro." And had no idea what it was. And he showed me an episode, and it was hilarious. I was laughing through the whole thing. I was like, "Yeah, I gotta watch this." All right, so we have a 5 minute green doji. We now have a green candle that's following up here. We have the VIX is starting to slightly top wick. Do I think we're going to bounce here? I'm not sure. I will say that the shorts are diminished. The risk reward here is starting to trim up a little bit as we're getting into the 55.05, 55.10 range. I've got a box drawn right here. So there you go. If you have kids, you watch cartoons at some point. Oh, trust me. Yeah, I've watched all the Toy Stories on repeat over the years, and yeah. 55.20. I got out of that green candle. I know you hit 100% because I hit 100%. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You talking about the swing put or the zero DT? Both of them are now over 100%. At least they were. Now they're starting to creep back up a little bit. But yeah, absolutely. VIX 1641. 55.30, 55.36. I will let y'all know when I clear my exposure out. I've got 5 minutes and I have to switch over to the bookmap stream. Might be just me, but I like higher leverage with relatively low position sizing versus large position size with low leverage, especially in low and volatile environments. Well, moves like this, you can make a ton of money if you're right. It's not often the market goes this directional for this long, and you can make a ton of money. In my opinion, when the market trends down like this, it's easier to read than when it trends up. Because when it trends up, it doesn't do this. When it trends up, it grinds very slow for like hours on end. It doesn't just blast high, 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 high. Rarely. That's why the downside moves are so easy, in my opinion, and so good to make money. Because it's a lot easier to read. So when a market's this volatile and VIX is blasting, this is the time where I usually put on some decent position sizing and kind of just let things go. In this case, it's in the form of a swing position. I kind of wish I would have taken some NASDAQ shorts on this, but I was so focused on my SPX exposure. I took NASDAQ shorts on my prop firms earlier this morning, but that was before the market opened. This has my interest. Yep, that right there is exactly why my overall target is mid to lower 5400s. Because of that right there, there's a huge volume gap between where we currently are and where the 5400s are. You got to mind the gap. So once we do take out this lower 5500 block, that's all she wrote, baby. That's all she wrote. Don't try buying the dip until the VIX comes off. I love it. John Carter just said that. I wonder who said that before, too. I think I need to write a book. A little bit more red here. $55.14. Dropping back off. Another bottom wick. So that's the retest bottom wick. That might be my sign to close out my zeros right there. The remainder of my zeros. That'll move back over into the 14 bottom wick, very small, but that's the type of move that usually drives the V recovery. What is that? Oh my gosh. And I've done just that. Out of all my zeros. Officially. All right. I've got a couple of minutes here. I do have to drop this stream and go over to Bookmap. I will repost the links in the server when I got them up here in about 40 seconds. So I'll see you all in a bit.